Hello everyone, this is Chuck. I wanted to make this video to let y'all know that Jesus is magic. He is. He's Kabbalah magic. You know, I get really freaking angry. This gets old because I get so many fucking idiots that can't just ask themselves simple questions. All this Jesus is Satan stuff is so simple, it's stupid. Let me ask you a question. If you go to the video store and rent a video or a movie that you haven't seen before, when you get home, do you fast forward it 3/4 of the way through the movie and then start watching it? No. You have to start at the beginning and watch it all the way through to the end if you want to have any frame of reference for what's going on in the end. And that's what this whole magic trick is about. That's why they've got you so ass backwards from page 1. They had you start reading the Bible 3/4 of the way through the Bible. That's not the way we read books here on planet Earth. When we read books, we start on page 1, then we read page 2, and then page 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, all the way through to the end. And you know why? It's called the time-space continuum. You see, time moves in a chronological order. And that's the way that we read books because that's the way we understand stuff, in a time-space continuum. You know, it's impossible to talk to Christians about this stuff. I'll try to talk to Christians about Adam and Eve on page 2, and inevitably they're, oh, but Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I'll have to stop them and say, look, we're on page 2 talking about Adam and Eve. Jesus hasn't fucking been born yet. They've lost all sense of the time-space continuum because they read the Bible starting 3/4 of the way through instead of starting on page 1 and understanding what's going on. If you don't understand the Old Testament, you will have no frame of reference for understanding the New Testament. And that's why the Christian church has you start reading the Bible in the New Testament instead of the Old Testament, to get you to come to a bunch of false conclusions about who Jesus is before you understand the 3/4 of the book that leads up to Jesus. And that's what's going on here. And that's why you're all ass backwards. I get idiots on my comment board, want to talk and ask all these questions that are way later in the Bible. Oh, but what about Jesus, Jesus? I'm like, look, if you don't understand what's going on page 1, you aren't going to understand what's going on page 600. You have to start at the beginning. That's the way time moves. I can't take a time machine and try to retroactively superimpose myself back in time, and that's what Christians try to do. They try to take even the concept of the Trinity. They made it in 250 or 300 AD and try to retroactively superimpose it back in time to the first page of the Old Testament. It's nonsense. They got your time-space continuum all messed up. They got you reading just selective passages out of the Bible. They don't have you start on page 1 and go all the way through. They say, oh, read page 500. Oh, listen to this quote. Oh, and then 700. Oh, and then 300. Oh, but look at this sentence. Oh, and you're just jumping all around in the Bible in no order. And that's why they got you all backwards and idiotic. Like these people on my chat board, I'll ask them, is the 7th day the day that comes after the 6th day? Oh, God will not be mocked with such questions. I'm not mocking God. I'm mocking you, you idiot. Can you differentiate the 6th day from the 7th day? It's real simple. You're just trying to make it difficult. Your dogma makes it difficult. But that's the magic trick. They got you reading it in the back before you understand the front. Start on page 1 and go all the way through to the end, and then you'll understand why Jesus is Satan. Get a fucking clue. It's so simple, it's silly. You got to understand the Old Testament if you want to understand the New Testament. Top of the morning star to you.